Hello, Easy Note Doctors. This is Dr. Sean Tompkins. I'm going to show you do a little Easy Notes training, show you how to use my Easy Notes. First, I want to talk about this OIG report that came out, I guess, about 10 days ago or so, showing that 82% of our services are medically unnecessary, and a lot of it falls back on documentation. When they did this report, they broke it down into three categories as far as what visit that treatment was, whether it's 1 through 12, 13 to 24, and 25 and after. And they said anything over 25, they didn't find anything that was medically necessary. And that's significant. I'm going to talk a little bit about that later. But not too fond of that report. I think there was a lot of bias to it. I think the sampling was too small. I mean, they do 105 dates of service out of like 17 million that chiropractors had submitted to Medicare. But it is what it is, and we need to learn from it. We need to move on, and we need to improve ourselves. And that's what my documentation kit's about, is to help you improve your notes. You've heard me say before, I've survived 3 Medicare records requests with no money being recouped. Last year, you heard me talk about this, some treatment that was denied from Medicare being medically unnecessary. And I want to talk about that just for a second. And I looked at that today. I got to thinking about that, and after this OIG, I started putting it together. I'm like, okay. So I looked back, and it was the visits that they denied were on this patient was 22 through 28. This patient had been in for several episodes of care where they came in, got him better, released him, and then it happened again. And on this last episode, they started denying, saying that he was out of visits. But the diagnosis that I used was like a category 5 diagnosis, if you're familiar with that. So he's allowed up to 30 visits, but they denied it. And they said they denied it because he ran out of visits, and also because I didn't document what caused his condition. But I did. So I appealed it twice to Medicare. Novitas, they denied it both times. And I got one final appeal to a company in Florida, can't remember the name, but after they reviewed my records, reviewed my documentation, they sided with me and said that yes, this treatment is medically necessary. Novitas paid this man his money. I'm like, yay! Awesome. So I was really stoked about that, really pumped about that. And I'll show you how I did that. So if you see these blue buttons here, these are my customizations. If you have my customizations, you're probably familiar with this. So you have a patient coming in and they're worse. They might be worse from household causes or sports travel causes. How I use this button is it says this patient's condition is worse from. Then I have all these different causes. You can have up to 3. We have I'll show you how to do that. Say they were worse from housework, heavy lifting, and raking. So you have 3 causes there. Probably only needed just one. So when you do that, you create a sentence, and this is what the sentence looks like. Test states that his condition is worse from housework, heavy lifting, and raking. Now, if it started from, you'll need to go in to where you print off your document, delete that out, and just put started from. That's how you solve that. But on my patient, what happened, none of those really applied. So I had to come in here and I had to use the story button. And so I had to use, what I used was, I typed what he said, that he was looking up, leaning his head back, while hammering on his barn, working on the roof of his barn. He was, I guess, on the kind of on a ladder, looking up, coming up underneath it, working on the roof and the rafters. So that's what I put. So I documented it, but for some reason, I guess they overlooked it or made a mistake. But the Florida company, they saw it, and everything was good. I was golden. I was stoked about that. I just can't tell you. I'm like, oh wow, my documentation, it passed. So I was really happy about that. So if you want to know more, let me show you a little bit about my documentation. So we have all these training videos, how you do assessment, how you do how you change your customs, travel card. I've got all these different videos here. SOAP note. I got 2 on how to do a treatment plan and X-ray report. So I have all these different changes and customizations for your documentation. You don't have to add them all at once. What I recommend you do is you just add them in a little bit at a time so it won't disrupt anything that you've got in there before. I also have bonuses. This is the guideline. Here's an intake form for Medicare, or not for Medicare, this is for Easy Notes. And this goes right along with the new patient. When you're entering a new patient, all those are in the same order. That's really helpful. I have a self-audit checklist, and here's my intake forms. Okay, I can't help with that. Also, there's something, if you have my documentation, I'm going to give you a free bonus. And if you don't have my documentation and you order it, you're going to get this bonus. Oh, you're going to love it. If you haven't heard of Dr. Gwilliam, he was Vice President of ChiroCode, does a lot of webinars. Well, I was looking back through his webinars and I found one that showed like the best way to document a Medicare case. It's the best webinar I've seen. I have his slides. I don't have the voiceover on it, but I have the slides. So if you want those slides, you've ordered my documentation before, or if you want to get my documentation, you can email me. Or call my office at there's the email address. Here's my office number. I don't work on Fridays, so I'll probably have to catch up with you on Monday. So if you call or email me, I'll email you back, but I'll probably be Monday before I get your Dr. Gwilliam. Now, I'm not a HIPAA guy. I'm not an OIG compliance guy. I'm not even a medical coding specialist. I'm just one of you. I'm just a regular doctor, chiropractic, trying to do the best I can. I've studied from Dr. Gwilliam, Dr. Ron Short, Dr. Kathy Mills-Chang, not doctor, just Kathy Mills-Chang. Those are my resources. I have a few other resources. So I studied these. I've had people, I had KMC audit my notes, tell me what I was doing wrong. And that's how I learn. That's how you should learn too, is just have somebody else look at your notes, and try to learn as much as you can. Go to webinars, do as much as you can. I got a few more tips here before I shut her down. I'm going to go really quick here. If you haven't performed a security risk analysis in your office, please do it really quick. That's something they're looking for. And also they're looking for if you've done an exclusion search on your staff. You can go to healthit.org, not org, it's gov.gov. That'll help you with your HIPAA. I recommend you actually go through ChiroCode or Talcott or somebody within our profession. It'll be better for you. My last thing is most everybody had updated their ICD-10 codes. Document that and put it that you did that. You got your ICD-10 codes documented and you're good to go. Put that in your compliance manual. Show Medicare that you are trying to stay compliant. And lastly, as always, be responsible, keep studying and following the Medicare and insurance requirements for your state. Hope this video has been helpful, and thanks for watching.